Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be looking at the top 5 best war games on Roblox. Now these games are specifically based around war, but just because a game is an FPS, that doesn't mean it's going to be on this list. So make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe if your favorite game is on this list, and if your favorite game is not on this list and you want another game on this list, make sure to comment down below, and if I get enough comments, I will make a part 2 of this, including all your favorite games. Without any further ado, let's get right to the video. So for number 5, we have D-Day. Now D-Day is basically a game with two teams, which are Allies and Axis, and basically what they try to do is capture a point. The really surprising thing about this game is that the game actually never ends. Like, no matter how many objectives that you catch, the game actually never ends. There's also different classes in this game, like support, engineer, sharpshooter, rifleman, foreign aid, and also some of these classes you can only get with the game pass. Another weird thing about this game is that you can switch teams instantly, which I guess kind of makes sense as the game never ends, so it's gonna be kind of boring playing for the same side each match. There are no tanks in this game. What you basically do is go out there with guns and shoot each other. There's also different ranks in this game, like private, grenadier, graffitier. Those are the only ones I know. There's way more than that, but yeah, there are different ranks in this game, and I don't know what the ranks do. Maybe they change your outfit in some way, but yeah, there are different ranks in this game you can level up to. Yeah, but honestly, this game has to be one of the best war games out there. It doesn't look the best, it still has that blocky Roblox aesthetic, but the map looks pretty cool. The guns look very detailed. Now the biggest reason why I put this game on number 5, which is last place on this list, is because the game never ends. And the reason why I say this is because there's no incentive to win in this game. There's no incentive to keep trying. Like, when you capture, you can't even capture all the points. Like, the only points that you can't capture is where the team spawns at, which I don't know, doesn't make sense, because who's gonna win? Like, there's literally no incentive to win, and I just think that that's a huge deal breaker for me. Nonetheless, I still think that this is a great Roblox game, but I just feel like the incentive of not to win can demotivate many people into not playing this game. Currently this game has 300 people playing right now, which is good, but I don't feel like it's gonna be lasting for that long if the incentive to win is not there. So for number 4, we have Poly Battle. Now Poly Battle is kind of like D-Day in the sense that both of the games you have to capture an objective to win, but unlike D-Day, there's not only 2 teams. Of course there are 2 teams in one match, but there are other teams with different flags and different unique names. Like 2 teams I can name off the top of my head are Fortisia and Anacondria, and there's really no difference between the teams except the flag color, and that's really it. And some people out there have been comparing this game to Battlefield, which I mean, like, yeah, I kind of see where they're coming from. Of course, from looks, this game looks nothing like Battlefield, but I understand gameplay wise as to why some people would compare this to Battlefield. Poly Battle also has tanks and different vehicles you can drive around. There's this Jeep with like a machine gun in there, which you can use. There's also this ATV, I think that's what they're called, I'm not sure, but there's this vehicle where you can just drive around the map. And yeah, I feel like this is a very good thing because the maps on Poly Battle are very huge, and vehicles and tanks just make the game way more fun. I also forgot to mention that there's also helicopters in this game, which the helicopters are actually kind of hard to fly. I've never like actually gotten the hang of how to fly a helicopter, but it's not impossible. I just really don't care about helicopters. I'm just trying to get that tank and just blow shit up. There's also different classes and different levels in this game. The first class that you can get is like the assault one, which is a AK-47, and yeah, there's other classes like support, engineer, and you can level up with your classes to get even better weapons. But one problem I do have with Poly Battle is that the game doesn't have enough polygons. Alright, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's okay, but what I'm basically saying is that the game's graphics are trash. Even for a Roblox game, they're pretty trash. And I understand, like, you know, like it's trying to get that blocky aesthetic, but if you look at the buildings and some of the weapons in this game, it's like, come on, bro. I feel like the devs are just being lazy with the buildings. I'm like, look at the tanks and different like vehicles. Those look pretty good, but the weapons and the buildings, I mean, like, no, I don't know, they're just questionable. So for number 3, we have Aegis Beta. Now Aegis Beta, it's kind of like a poly battle, but it's actually just way better. Aegis Beta or Aegis Reborn, which are 2 different games actually, but they're all like, they're very similar. There's absolutely no changes except how the map looks. I'm gonna be putting both of these games on number 3 just because they're very similar. They're made by the same person. They have the same name. There's really no difference between these games, so I'm just gonna put both of these games at number 3. So Aegis Beta or Aegis Reborn is basically this game where you have a bunch of factions and they're fighting over land. And like DDay, the game actually never ends. What happens is basically other teams capture other teams' bases. And like Poly Battle, this game has different types of vehicles like trucks, tanks, helicopters, jets, all that type of stuff. And you can actually also make your own faction, which is pretty cool in this game, but it might not work out because there's not tons of people playing Aegis Beta or Aegis Reborn, so that's gonna be kind of hard. Now, if you're a faction leader, you basically get to do a lot of things. Your role on the team is monarchy. You basically get to give people roles on the team. You get to make your bases by yourself. You get to build whatever you want. So yeah, I would definitely try making your own faction, but if that doesn't work because there's not a lot of people on the game, just join a faction. Now the way you basically win in this game is to go to an enemy's base, alright? And most of the time it's undefended because like I said, there's not many people playing this game. What you basically do is destroy their adapter and put your own adapter there. But yeah, that's just a quick summary of the game. I have nothing really else to say about this game. It's a pretty cool game. It's kind of dead right now, but I mean, like, try to have as much fun as you can with this game. There's not a lot of people playing, so yeah. Alright, so for number 2, we have Tank Warfare. Now, I'm not going to say much about this game because it's pretty simple what you do in this game. You don't really get to do much, but I decided to put this game at number 2 just because the game looks so amazing and the mechanics on this game are not like any other Roblox game that is out there. I mean, like, many people will point at Armor Patrol to compare this to Tank Warfare. While Armor Patrol is very similar to Tank Warfare and Armor Patrol has more players, but Tank Warfare, I mean, like, if you look at the 2 games, I mean, like, there's literally no comparison. Tank Warfare is just better. Now, enough about Tank Warfare versus Armor Patrol. Let's actually talk about the game Tank Warfare. Now, Tank Warfare is fairly simple. What you do is that there's 2 teams and there's different game modes, like Capture the Flag. There's this one card point, I think. And there's this one where like you kill someone but you have to get their tags. I don't know what's called, but you know, that's a game mode in the game. And yeah, it's really simple. This game, what you basically do is shoot at tanks and you try to kill them. There's so many tanks in this game. And yeah, there's different classes, there's different ranks in this game. And they also tell you, and on the front page, they also tell you things that are happening in the game, like what's new you can see on the home page, which is really nice of them. And yeah, honestly, this game is one of those games where you look at it and it's like, wow, this is actually a Roblox game. You're kind of surprised by it. Alright, so for number 4, we have Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5. Now, Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5 has to be my favorite game on this list. And this is not biased for it. I'm just saying, like, objectively, Black Hawk Rescue Mission is the best game on this list. So enough introductions, let's actually talk about the game Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5. Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5 is basically a game where you go out to different places on the map, and what you try to do is try to capture that point. You do that by killing all the enemies there, and once your flag goes up, that means that you've won. And sometimes they don't come in waves immediately, like in Ronograd. It takes like about 20 minutes for like the enemies to spawn again. Then it just becomes this whole event where like 10 people on the map are just trying to kill the enemies there. You can do these missions with your friends too. And this game also has a PvP mode where yeah, it's just 5v5, 2v2, and there's also ranked, which is 5v5, but it's like way harder because better players usually play ranked. Another really cool thing about this game is that there's also different factions in here. You can find factions at the Discord link, the Black Hawk Rescue Mission Discord link, and yeah, there's so many factions, and the biggest faction I think is SASR, and SASR is actually pretty organized when it comes to making a faction. Like, you literally have to go through a whole test to remember different plays And while I do think it's overboard, if you like that type of stuff, you know, role playing kind of, I think joining a faction would exactly be for you. And like some of the games on this list, this game also has vehicles, but sadly there are no tanks. But there are helicopters that don't shoot any like weapons or anything. But there are helicopters in this game. There are Humvees, which actually can shoot, like that actually have a machine gun. There's like it's like kind of like a tank, but it doesn't shoot anything. But it's kind of like a whole hallway. Like the vehicle is just so big. And yeah, there's also this jet called the A-10. The A-10 is pretty popular. There's a lot of memes about it. So yeah, this game is the way that you get different like vehicles in this game is by unlocking stars, which you basically do by leveling up and killing enemies, which might take you a while to get like to 5 stars, but if you find a good grinding tutorial on YouTube, you'll just be fine. But yeah, honestly, this game looks great. Honestly, it looks very beautiful, especially with the rain, and it's just an all-around great game to play, especially PvP if you're into that. So yeah, that's gonna conclude the video. Make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, like these types of list videos, make sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications. And yeah, hope you liked the video. It would really help me out like with the algorithm. So yeah, thank you for watching and bye.